Hey everybody, Mr. Pace, thanks for stopping by. I have an excerpt of what was posted on Nextdoor. I want to thank those folks for coming. I spoke to Mr. LeCount today and straightened him out on what's going on, and I think I have been able to speak to him about the situation involving Mr. Killett. Now, people are asking me questions about the recall and things like that. This says that there is no need for this, that, and the other thing, and a lot of people are missing the main reason why a recall will cleanse the district, and I want to get into that right now. So please, this is not a G-rated video. I may slip and use a word here and there. It's not really a slip, it's just direct and to the point, okay? The reason why Jan Pizzi is fighting so hard to stop this recall, regardless of what she says about me and anything else, I don't care, okay? In essence, I don't give a shit, okay? She has had her say, and she has been a destructive force in this district for years, and that's coming to an end. What she can do, okay, and this is what Mr. Krebs alluded to when he spoke to someone about her, is that she is dangerous. Yes, she is, isn't she, Al? Because she can take all the dirt that she's got and dump it on everybody's head. And that includes the people in the office and the people at the rec centers, okay, which are the people who pay her homage, the people that are loyal to Pizzi. The reason why I made it clear, it does not matter in why we need a clean house, has nothing to do with it, because she would be able to lord all this junk over their heads, and that's what nobody understands. I hope I'm making myself pretty clear. A lot of the stuff that's been going on, especially with Corey Gabardella, when she was telling people my hands are tied because of you-know-who, we know who the you-know-who is. The same with the staff in the office. The you-know-who is Mrs. Pizzi. Mr. Krebs, you were one of the people that helped create the monster. Now, don't be upset when she starts opening her mouth and regurgitating everything that she's got over this district, which would be pretty much the end of it. You know it and I know it. The problem is, she's trying to hold on to Josh Killett because Josh Killett leaks. I read this. She wouldn't have had any idea who anybody was meeting with unless it was leaked to her. She's no longer a board member, but it was leaked to her. You need to start reading, and this is everyone that's watching the video. Start reading these things. All you have to do is pay attention to what she's doing. She's trying to secure her place with the next board. She knows she can talk to Lukens, and she knows she's already got Josh. Okay? So, cautionary memo to Mr. Lukens. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Okay? Everybody knows that your family is part of the clique. Okay? Hence the reason why, even though you don't have majority, information will still get back to Mrs. Pizzi. That needs to stop. So to the new board, Peterson, LePage, family members of this to include, you have Daniel Cole, both lawyers, door blocker, aka William Miller, and last but not least, Corey Gabardella. I've made it clear. You need to think about having those folks step aside and redoing the district, having one single manager run all of it. The problem was the leaks in that district are like a sieve, okay? And they are loyal to Jan Pizzi. Done. That's what she's so afraid of. If you just watch what she's doing, she has no control over me. She knows it. He lies, he lies. No, you're a bigger liar, okay? And you're a cheat and a few other things, okay? And you'll do anything and you'll say anything to hurt anybody. This time you can't. You and your friends and the old directors and the staff and the developers took their best shot. And for you to come on here and talk about how great Josh was on the HOA board after he sued countless homeowners and fined them up the yazoo and then took a house away from a family, boy, you got balls. Now it's official. Now I know you got bigger balls than your husband. To come out there and talk about the great things he did while he was on the HOA, oh, you make me sick. Really? We did a whole report on that. How many people did he sue when he was on there? It wasn't a handful. I think it was darn near 100 people. Oh, and that's right. He financially benefited from his time on the HOA because the HOA had to turn over those records, and they were pissed about that. Weren't you, Mr. Reimers? You weren't happy about that at all. But it was far more money than you thought it was. It was less than 100,000, but more than 40. Okay? Save it. Trying to defend Josh Killett. You got to be kidding me. Did you guys all know about the 14-page document Josh had a hand in? Oh yeah, it was the Attack Ron document that I'm going to present at the next board meeting. I think it's 14 pages, but it was all about me and what they were going to do to me and a bunch of other things that this district paid for. You didn't know about that. But the one that really did it for me was the issue over the January 23rd meeting. Okay? So let's get over this. I want to make something very clear to you. Jan Pizzi is hanging on by a thread. And that's the reason she wants Josh to stay on this board, because she knows that she can hold stuff over his head, which is what she's doing now. She can hold stuff over Peterson's and LePage's and Gabardella and all of them. Hence the reason I said we need a clean house. It's nothing personal, but the problem is you all paid loyalty to her, and now you're still loyal to her. No one's come out and said anything otherwise. Hence, we need the house cleaning. Hence, the recall. Okay? You don't know what you don't know. And Josh Killett and this board made decisions and passed resolutions behind everybody's back. 16 different meetings this went on. Not one. It's all on record. They couldn't even get the financials straight. You don't even know how much money they spent. You don't even know who's working for us. Hence, the recall. You know what? Mr. Killett can save everybody a lot of time and aggravation by resigning. Either way, he's coming off the board. Compliments of me. And there won't be anything in that recall that isn't bulletproof. I learned my lesson. Again, apologies to Amy Smith and your family for me screwing up the last one. But this time I'm not in the hospital, I'm not in the emergency room, and I'm not suffering. Okay? So, you have a big decision to make, Mr. Killett, because everybody in this district needs to know who you are and what you've done. And they will. That's part of the process. I told you when you interfered in this election, there was going to be consequences, and that's one of them. It's a process. It's nothing personal. It's all business. You interfered in my ability to get elected, and you shouldn't have done it. That's all everybody needs to know for now. As far as the rest of this is concerned, I've read all this. If you ignore all of these information, my question to you is, Mrs. Pizzi, how do you know what Josh Killett's been doing? Because as a board member, he's not supposed to be talking to you about any of that. Oh, that's right. You have your leakers in the office. Your best friend Peterson, your best friend LePage, and God knows who else. Hence, the people that are loyal to Jan. Want me to go over them again? Lisa Peterson, Savannah Peterson, Jeremy LePage, Christina LePage, Mr. Cole. The lawyers not so much anymore. Corey Gabardella, and I think that's it. But then, that's all we need, isn't it? Once those folks are no longer able to do what they've been doing, which is pay homage to her, because she can hold stuff over their head. And Mr. Krebs, this is directly to you. You lack a sack. And now you're telling people about how dangerous she is? Well, you should know, huh? Because you helped create that situation. And now, what I'd like you to do is come on to Nextdoor and tell everybody what Jan has and what she can do to hold everything over everybody's head, because she can. I'm Mr. Pace. I told you that recalls are a necessary evil. I don't like them. They're time-consuming, they're a pain, but they are necessary. And in this case, when somebody says, what has Josh done? To the young lady, Mrs. Norris, everything under the sun. The reason why this new board got elected was because of what the old board was doing. The lack of transparency, the lack of financials, the lack of payables, the lack of information, the lack of everything. Just none of it. And just having 3 or 4 new board members isn't going to fix it, because Mr. Killett knows that Mrs. Pizzi has stuff that she can hold over his head. And that's not right. That goes for the staff too. Hence the reason I said we got to clean everything up. I'm Mr. Pace. Hopefully I set the record straight with that. But Ms. Pizzi, anytime you want to sit in the room and talk to me, you go ahead and you do that, okay? Anytime, anywhere, any place, because I'm the one doing the recall. Don't ask anybody else. You come talk to me. But you won't, okay? I don't think I'm going to be making another mistake in this recall. As a matter of fact, I can guarantee it, okay? because this time I learned from my prior mistakes, and this time I will be using documents that I already have. Okay, everybody? I want to make sure that that's plain and simple. If you do have a question and you need to know the facts from fantasy, just get a hold of me. Stop by the website. Leave me a question, please, because I'm not going on the next door, okay? I'm glad I'm not on there. I do appreciate people giving me that information, but if you have a question about why, I will explain to you why. I will show you the documents I have, and we take it from there. But I want to make this very, very, very clear. A multi-million-dollar nonprofit organization, quasi-municipal government, electioneered and interfered in the outcome of a recent election. Reason number one. That's it. And it doesn't matter, because they are not going to be held responsible for what they did, because the law works like that. And that is unfair to anybody to have to fight against a multi-million-dollar Title 32 quasi-municipal government to win an election. Nobody else has had to do it but me. Okay? And I will not allow Josh Killett in any capacity to continue on as a rogue board member to do this. And this one is also for Lynn and Frank and that January 23rd meeting that's all the rage. Okay? Thanks for stopping by. Please remember, when I come by to ask you for your signature, I'll back it up with facts. If you want to sit here and listen and argue on Nextdoor, don't bother, because I'm not going to be posting anything on my website one way or another except for this video. What happens from here on out is on me. If Mrs. Pitsy has the onions and sack to give me a call or wants to meet with me, my door is always open. And bring any tape recorder you want. Folks, I'll talk to you later, okay? Remember, go to the source to get the facts. Don't listen to everybody else. But the reason I'm going to ask this board to cleanse Woodman Hills is because it needs to be done. Because Jan Pitsy has a lot of baggage and a lot of stuff in that closet she can hold over everybody's head and use against them at any time to get information. And don't think otherwise. Thanks for stopping by.